It's a great day to be a Rotarian, and especially great for Katelyn and I. We're out here live from the Bosshard Cranberry Bogs in Toma, Wisconsin. And we are going to shift things up a little bit just so that we can capture the guys out there harvesting the cranberries. So with that, if we could turn to the next slide. Please. Emily, can you turn to the next slide?
Oh, next slide, is that what you said?
Sorry. Yep. If everybody could please stand and unmute yourself, and we will recite Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next slide, please. Okay, this meeting is going to be recorded, so just a heads up on that. I think Emily got that recorded, so thank you. And then we are going to actually, we will do welcome guests and visitors right now. So Josh, I've asked Josh to please welcome all of those guests and visitors that have joined us tonight.
All right, welcome, welcome to all our guests and visitors. So Steph, would you mind introducing Gloria?
Sure. This is Gloria Doyle. She is a member of the Downtown Rotary Group, and she also happens to be the mother of myself and Katelyn Doyle.
Excellent. Welcome, Gloria.
Thank you.
And then it looks like we've got a couple of the Bosshards. So Diane, Carly, John, would you guys like to introduce yourselves briefly?
You want to introduce yourself? I'm Carly. And then we have Joe, not John. And I don't know if Diane's around. We haven't seen her yet. But
okay.
But it is a family affair out here, and I'm really excited for the program tonight. And I'm so glad that all of you decided to join. I think we're in for a real treat. So with that, we will move to the slide, keep going. We're gonna go back to these. One more. Sorry, there's a lot of slides in there. All right, so October is actually Economic and Community Development Month for Rotary International. That is the theme. And I was reflecting on what projects we've done as a club that
they're at the Cranberry Bogs and
we do actually develop our community
in Toma for harvest. So that's there. Yeah.
But we have the pleasure tonight, and I'm going to turn it over to Katelyn to officially introduce our guest speakers. But we're here in the Cranberry Bogs, and this is an important part of the economy here in Wisconsin. So with that, I'm going to ask Katelyn to introduce our speakers.
All right. So as Marissa said, we're out at the Bosshard Bogs. Right now we've got Carly Bosshard.
Can you guys hear us?
Are you muted?
Yes, we can.
Oh, do I need to be muted?
Sorry.
Emily, could you stop sharing so that they become the big screen?
And you just talk here. There you go. All right. So I'm out here with Joe Bosshard and Carly Bosshard. Actually in the background, you might be able to see Bill Bosshard as well. And his wife Diane might be around here somewhere. Carly? I don't know. But I have known Carly since kindergarten. She's one of my best friends, and I'm so lucky to have her in my life. Joe is visiting from Colorado for harvest, and the rest of the Bosshards are kind of scattered all over. But I'm really excited to learn about these cranberry bogs, and I will turn it over to our experts. Can everybody hear us? Just to do a sound check.
Yep, we can hear you.
Yay, nay? Okay, so I'm gonna mute.
No, you guys are. Marissa, now you're muted.
All right, I can talk. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I think if you guys, we're gonna start with a little video. It'll kind of give you a little background and just a little better picture of kind of what happened. So if you guys are able to play that, it's like 2 or 3 minutes. I think that would be a great intro.
My favorite thing about farming is the creativity of it. You did it, you know, in conjunction with nature, but in the end you created it, and that's something you can measure, and when you're done, you take a great sense of satisfaction. And that's what I like about agriculture. Yeah, well, I've been farming my whole life, so it's kind of second nature to me. We're not a big commercial operation. We're a family farm size operation, so everything we touch has an impact on the end of it. We take pride in that. I just enjoy farming. It's just a way to add up what you've created at the end of the year.
It's the company we used to sell to.
This was not a cranberry marsh 27 years ago when my dad started. He had a vision to be a cranberry grower. Unfortunately, he died a couple of years later before he was able to see it all come to fruition. My manager, Paul, and I have built a 103-acre marsh, and we're delighted to be in partnership with Juice Plus and producing premium product for their uses. Well, we live here, and we eat the products that we grow, so we're very cognizant of the fact that they have to be environmentally friendly. There's no other way around it. To send something out of here that you yourself or your family wouldn't eat doesn't cut it. We do everything we can to minimize any impact we have on the environment, which is impact on us. We're stewards of the environment. It's important to us. It's important to our customers. The property that cranberries have that the public enjoys is the anthocyanin quality of them. It's a hot topic in nutrition right now that everybody's looking to get in their meals. And that's where a cranberry stands out compared to some other fruit. The variety that Juice Plus purchases from us is the Ben Lear variety, which is a deeper red, higher in anthocyanin. And that requires us to wait a little longer on the marsh. We don't start harvesting until we've reached the numbers that they require, so that we produce the fruit, particularly for them, that they can use to add value to get to their customers the product that they want. That's a big deal to us. We have to produce a premium quality fruit that's multidimensional, has uses throughout the grocery spectrum. If we don't produce a quality product, we haven't really accomplished anything. So our primary focus throughout the year is make sure we have a crop of fruit that's going to be accepted by customers of Juice Plus that demand a premium product, so that when they go to their customers, they say, we know that they reach the standards that we're asking for. You need to leave the land equal to or better than when you found it. We think we've done that here, and we can pass this on to the next generation and say, here, we've established a standard. We expect you to do better. That's our goal.
All right. Joe was joking that that's Instagram versus reality, so it doesn't look as pretty as that video. But that was my family, our family, and that was done like 3 or 4 years ago by the company we used to sell to, Juice Plus. We now ship to a packaging company called Mariani. But yeah, so we're so excited to have you guys here. We are just kind of winging this, so go easy on us. But we can kind of go through the cranberry bog, the growing, the harvesting, and then also the cleaning of it and shipping off. So we are standing on a 390-acre farm in Tomah, Wisconsin. It's right where the interstate divides, and we have a big Bosshard Bog sign that goes right along the interstate, so you might have seen it before. So we have about 102 acres of actual cranberries that are growing. And that is 102 acres of Wisconsin's 20,000 acres of cranberries that are produced here. And so that makes Wisconsin the largest grower of cranberries in the country, which is kind of exciting. And so cranberries are Wisconsin's #1 fruit, both economically and in size. And they're a pretty cool fruit, like the raspberry and blueberry. They're really high in like anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And so a lot of times they're used for both like food and medicine and a lot of other fun things. But yeah, I can they're just finishing up for the day. This has been, let's see, day 9 or 10 of harvest this year. I worked all last week, so I put my hours in. But they're just finishing up. And so I can kind of give it over to Joe to kind of talk about the cool growing and harvesting, and then shipping off to the cleaning plant that we also have on site. And yeah.
Okay, I'm Joe, Carly's brother. So we're here at harvest, but before we kind of get to the harvesting process, we should probably figure out how we got to this step. So if you walk with me, Marissa. So these are beds. They kind of sit below the dikes around them. That's the reason that they sit low, is because we flood them twice a year. Right now, the beds over on this side are completely flooded with water. And the beds that we're about to do are just starting to fill up. We do this twice a year. The first time we do it is in December. It's a perennial plant, so we don't replant every single year. These vines are decades old, so we have to protect them and be really careful about how we treat them. So in the winter, we flood the beds with water. We have our own reservoirs on the farm, and the water circulates, and we recycle that water. When we flood this in December, it'll freeze, and it's a thin layer, well, a couple inch layer of ice that goes over the vines, and that protects them from the harsh winter frost. During that time, we'll also put sand on top of the ice if the weather allows and we can get our trucks on it. That sand then in the summer, in the spring, when the ice thaws and we empty the beds of water, we'll go through the vines and clean them out and promote the vines to kind of grow in stronger instead of kind of run out and be thin. Springtime, you'll start seeing the plants bud out. We put commercial bees on the end of every bed in the spring. The bees help pollinate the plants. Starts out with a really, really green, kind of light green berry, which moves into kind of a white berry, and then by the end, around this time of year, it turns into a dark red. I can grab a couple here. So sometimes they end up white like that, and that's okay. It tastes the exact same, but what you kind of look for is this real dark color. When we are getting ready to harvest, then we reflood the beds, and that's what you're seeing here. This bed is not quite ready to be harvested. What then happens, actually we can catch it right now. So that tractor that's going through a bed right now is called a harrow tractor, and it's got combs on the end of it. And the combs run through the vines and knock off the berries. It's really easy to knock them off once they're underwater. And we go back and forth on that. A bed of this size, this is a 2.5 acre bed. There'll be about 100,000 pounds of fruit in this bed. Some of our beds are up to 8.5 acres. And a bed like that will be 300,000 pounds or so. It'll take us probably 2-3 hours to harvest this bed once we get there. So once the berries get knocked off, it then is time to harvest them, which is what we're doing on this side right now. And what we need to do, first thing we need to do is corral the berries, and we'll take 2 tractors on the edge of the dikes with a brush on the end of it, push the berries back into the middle, and we'll take this yellow boom and we'll just literally drive the boom across the bed to get the berries into a corner of the bed. Once there, we set up our harvest machine, which is that yellow tractor in the background, or that yellow machine, and we slowly start pulling the boom together. There's a suck kind of a suction device at the bottom there that's sucking up all the berries. It gets a quick rinse at the top of that harvesting machine that also cleans out some of the vines and leaves and that sort of thing. The vines and leaves go in the front where that dump truck is, and then a pretty clean berry ends up in the semi before it gets taken off to the cleaning station. We have our own cleaning station on site, and the total process of all of this is 10 to 12 days, depending on how big the crop is. But it's been a good year. It's a good year, good harvest year for us. And we'll be right at about 10, 11 days. Let's see, did I miss anything, Carly? I don't know if John's on or not. We only have 3 more beds left, so we should be done harvesting tomorrow. John is on. All right, now we're passing it to my brother John, who's up in the cleaning station. Thanks for tuning in to your state fruit.
Hey Josh, this is Marissa. I don't know if you can unpin me now so that we can see John and there we go. Thank you. Hey John.
Hello, Rotary Club. All right, so yeah, as Joe was mentioning, cranberries are not only the state fruit. Carly also mentioned that it's one of the largest sort of produced fruits, both economically and in total volume in Wisconsin. From sort of the area where Joe was taking you through, we will fill up semis and trucks and bring them over to our cleaning plant for sort of being dumped here in the pits. And I was told to give a little bit of history about cranberries. So you probably know them best by their work at your Thanksgiving dinner table, or possibly mixing with a vodka drink in your college days. But here, we actually will clean them and ship them out to be dried and sweetened at a company called Mariani, which does the packaging just right here in Wisconsin, and labeled and then sent out. Known originally as cranberries for obvious reasons, as they look a lot like the animal. Actually, the blossoming flower is white just prior to harvesting. And the first settlers back in the 1800s that saw the native fruit thought that it did resemble that of a crane. And over time, that became too difficult to say, so they dropped one of the letters and made it cranberry. So from here, our cranberries will come up the elevator and into the actual cleaning plant, which from our 2 pits here, they will be shuffled through a sorting and cleaning machine. The sorting machine helps to ensure that any berries that are too small, any berries that are overripe or rotten, can hopefully be sorted out. And there's a couple ways that we can do that. So because the cranberry is hollow, not only do they float on water, but they also have a tendency to bounce around. So when we send them through, they will bounce and bounce and bounce, and the ones that don't bounce will fall down and be collected and removed from the process, as well as any ones that are too small can be sorted out before they get cleaned and sent out. So from that first sorting process, we again will send them here, which shakes the berries, and they will fall down and get cleaned multiple times with water throughout the entire process. Here we have some brushes that will clean away further debris before eventually they'll go again to an elevator to our hopper. And in this hopper is where we then will put, today, totes underneath the hopper to be collected, weighed, and sent out. Now, originally, producers would use barrels as a way to measure and to sell their cranberries. And we still use barrels as a unit of volume, equaling 100 pounds today. So when we talk in terms of how many berries we sell, we're typically going to be talking in terms of barrels, which is going to be about 100 pounds. So the entire marsh here can yield, depending on the year, between 3 and 3.5 million pounds of berries. And they'll all be sent through this cleaning process and cleaning plant here, and eventually sent out in the trucks for you all to happily consume in your homes. And this is probably not as glamorous or as beautiful as some of the shots that Carly and Joe were sending you, but we like it just fine as well. And I don't know, Carly, if there's anything else you want me to mention about the cleaning plant, but that's just about it. We can certainly interview a few of the characters that we have.
Yep. That was a wonderful, wonderful tour, John. Appreciate it.
All right. Yep.
It's very beautiful. Now what?
Anyone have questions?
Yeah, we can open up the questions.
How long did you say it takes to harvest?
Been days this year, start to finish.
And cranberries are also a fruit that they don't blossom or produce fruit the first year that you plant them. I don't know, Joe, if you know the answer to it, how long or how many years it took us after we actually started putting in the plants to get our first harvest. But even though they do produce year over year.
Once you decide
like
to grow cranberries, once you decide to grow cranberries, you're pretty committed. It's going to take a good 4 to 5 years before you get your good first fruit from that vine. And you can't really tear it out and start over or anything like that. So once you got them in, you got to stick with them.
What kind of work do you have to do to maintain the bog in between harvests, or is it pretty low maintenance the rest of the year?
I'd say it just depends on the time of the year. Like when in the winter, when we are flooding and putting sand on the beds, that's pretty a lot of hours and effort to do that. Otherwise, general weeding. We do our best to limit any sort of spray or if there's a bug or something like that. But generally, it's just like weeding, just like your backyard. Some fertilizer, that sort of thing. Irrigation, depends on the year, but nothing too crazy.
How much do you sell a 100-pound barrel for?
I think the going price is about $25 right now. It's ranged anywhere between 15 and 80 over the last 30 years. But there's a lot more fruit in the industry now than there was 30 years ago. It was a pretty, it just wasn't a popular thing to grow until the last decade, and now it's probably, I don't know, 4 times the number of berries in the market than there were a few decades ago. And our farm used to be one of the bigger ones, and now we're very medium sized. But we've been doing it for 33 years, so it's been around.
How many other cranberry bogs are there in the Tomah area, Tomah Warrens area?
I don't know the exact number, but it is the most, I believe it's the most highly dense area of cranberries in the country. Would be right in Tomah and Warrens. It really is the center of cranberries in the country. Number of farms and consolidation, things like that, I'm not sure, but I think you had somewhere the total acres.
20,000 acres.
20,000 acres in 20 counties throughout Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin Rapids is also big.
Yeah, the Rapids area.
And Ocean Spray is
Ocean Spray controls about 80% of the market. So anytime Ocean Spray is what you think of when you hear cranberries. But if you are drinking Ocean Spray or eating an Ocean Spray cranberry, they are not from our farm.
What makes the Tomah Warrens area really good for growing cranberries?
A lot of it has to do with access to water. Since it is a water intensive fruit with the flooding the beds twice a year. Soil isn't that great for some other stuff, and then it just kind of hit. I think this is a good spot to do it. Right climate, plenty of rain, that sort of thing. So you can't do this in a dry climate. It just doesn't work. You can't really do it if you require only irrigation, you needed plenty of rain, that sort of thing. So the other area that is quite popular is in the Northeast, Massachusetts, and Canada.
What is the best recipe that you found using cranberries?
I shouldn't answer this. I would say a vodka drink. But recipe.
Oh. Ooh, let's see. A lot of just like classic like cranberry sauce is a good one. Probably like a lot of like baking, like scones or muffins is good for cranberries, or just like cranberry juice. I don't know. I'm way more like a dried cranberries crazy girl than like a raw cranberry. It's a very, very tart fruit. But like a handful of raisins is pretty tasty. I don't think so. Marissa asked if there's anywhere locally to buy Mariani cranberries. Joe, where does Mariani sell?
Well, it's a family owned company out in California. So I think most of theirs is still going to be sort of out in the West Coast. But they do.
It's like at like grocery stores or grocery stores or like convenience stores. It's like kind of like a little yellow bag, and it says Mariani on it. But every once in a while, we'll see it. Yeah, they also sell third parties. Will sell their cranberries to like other grocery stores or bakeries to use the product.
Are you guys considered an organic cranberry farm or no?
We are not. No, we are not organic. Organic cranberries is very hard to do, but they are kind of, I would say the most organic cranberries are they're starting it out like Washington. And in that area of the country, but that is, it is, it's just, it's a hard crop since they're perennials and we started growing them however many years ago. It's hard to transition them to organic, but I think they are starting with the newer plants now being planted. So there definitely are some out there, but we are not. But yeah, it looks like they're just finishing for the day. They had a very long day, but I hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you.
Katelyn and I are going to move away from the noise so that we can hear. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with us as we are trying to be as engaging with our meetings as we can and trying out technology and all that. But I just want to thank Katelyn for helping set this up and to thank the entire Bosshard family for sharing their Cranberry Bogs with us. It's definitely, you can see, if I put my screen again, you'll see 3 of the family members. It's definitely a family affair, and it kind of makes you jealous. On the way out here, Charlie was saying her mom lives pretty sweet, and it's definitely an amazing sight. I wish you guys could all see it in person, but I hope that you have a deeper appreciation for cranberries, and when you eat it at Thanksgiving this year, you have a better understanding of all the labor of love that went into harvesting that for all of us to enjoy. So thank you to the Bosshard family for entertaining this idea of having us out here and for sharing so much about cranberries with us. With that, if there are any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. You can always ask one of the Bosshard kids or parents to answer them. But I will ask Emily to share the PowerPoint again. Thank you, Caitlin. Can everybody hear me okay? Yep, okay. I can't really quite know. Yes, it is. It is plaid can't ask for better weather, and it's beautiful out here. So with that, Emily, if you could please go back to trying to think of where we left off here. All right, so we did guests and visitors. So we have many birthdays to celebrate this month. Caitlin, for those of us that were at the Alpaca Social last week, got to sing to Caitlin and eat cupcakes. Hers was October 3rd. Carl Ross celebrated his birthday on October 4th. Johnny Brevik, happy birthday on October 13th. Alyssa Frank, October 14th. And Laramie, I know you for sure are on. Happy birthday on October 17th. Next slide. Happy Rotary anniversaries to Ryan Baylor-Fuller. I believe, I can't see, but I think he just had his 8-year anniversary as a Rotarian. Lisa Cobb, congratulations on 7 years in Rotary, and Brandon Yates, his 1-year anniversary. After hours membership updates, we are currently at 62 active members. Many of you have met Kristen. She was at our October Fest meeting. She was at the Alpaca Social. She is our newest member, so please give Kristen a warm welcome. We also have 5 honorary Rotarians and 7 friends. I am going to ask Amy, so the theme of Rotary this year is Rotary Opens Opportunities. And we've had some exciting opportunities that have presented to our club in the month of September. So I'm going to ask Amy to share a little bit about the Rotary opportunity with the Good Fight.
Yes, so Marissa and I met with the Good Fight about 2 weeks ago and presented them with the $10,000 for the van purchase. Nate emailed me today that he is going up to Winona tomorrow as he found a van. It's a red 16-passenger van that he likes. So he's hoping with their trade-in, and he's hoping to make some deals, he can get this van. We are then looking at putting the logos on. So we have looked at a few different places to do logos for our club and for the Good Fight. So hopefully the van will wrap up within the next month or so. The center is open for students. However, they've seen very low numbers right now due to COVID. And they haven't been able to partner with schools as much, as kids are not in school right now. They are looking at ways to try to help the kids on doing possibly tutoring with them. So we might be looking at volunteers to help with some of that. They also have their virtual run coming up. Caitlin sent an email out today. The virtual run is $27.50. You can sign up on the Good Fight's website, or if you can't run or walk, you can also donate. It's a virtual run, so you have all of October 17th to complete it. And yes, so that will be this fundraiser is a huge fundraiser for them to support sponsorships for the kids. It was a very small number of kids who actually pay. What else? I also am now a part of the board of directors of the Good Fight. So that is exciting news. So I will be very involved with them. Any questions about, oh, and then also for the run, if you do complete the run, please email Caitlin or I, or if you donate, email Caitlin and I, and you will get service credit for the month of September. So that's, or October, sorry, it's October. So that is another opportunity for you. Other volunteer opportunities with the Good Fight will be coming as we continue to discuss options, but that will be coming. Any questions for me about the Good Fight? If anyone wants to be on the committee, also please email me. I started a committee and there's only about 4 of us now. So. James is asking if anyone wants to do a group run, so reach out to him if you'd like to. I think there was a deal if you did a group. All that information is on the website too.
Thank you, Amy. This is an exciting project, and I think everybody that has made it happen. It's been a club effort. Our money that we raised for Ugly Sweater is a large reason why we're able to do that and help make an impact in the community. Next slide, please. So many of us had the opportunity, it was really a fun evening last week, to go to the Doyle Alpaca Farm. We got to meet their alpacas and their goats, and it was a great social distance outside, raw social. I think I saw, is Brandon still on? Did I hear him or no? Maybe not. Does anybody want to, that was there, want to give their highlights? Maybe who their favorite alpaca was? I think Brinley's there. That's Steph's little one in the middle. That's the baby that Stephanie's holding. It was just, they are so cute, and I'm surprised they don't have one living in my backyard yet because they were awesome. So many thanks to the Doyle family for welcoming us out there, and thank you to Steph Klein who helped coordinate that and get some Jimmy John's and some light food for the evening. Next slide, please. We had a couple opportunities. Thank you, Katelyn, for all your help organizing our service activities for September. Thank you to everybody that participated and helped. Ushering at the La Crosse Community Theater, outdoor performances. A special shout out to Josh, Caitlin, Sarah, and Stephanie. And then there was a handful of us that did river cleanup a couple Saturdays ago. Brianna, Dustin, Caitlin, Kristen, the Skenzel family, Larry, Missy, and Kate, and Sarah. There was a ton of trash that was picked up. The water levels are so low right now that I think we found extra items. It's amazing what people either leave behind or that fly off boats, but we definitely walked away from that Saturday with garbage bags full of items. Probably heard Sarah found a pair of dentures. There was a glass pit that we came upon and cleaned up a bunch of glass. So good work to everybody. To date, 47% of our members have participated in a service event this Rotary year. So that's amazing. If you haven't had an opportunity, highly encourage it. It's a great way to get involved and meet new people and give back. And I think everything that we're doing is pretty safe. They've been small groups outside, so we welcome you to get involved in that. Next slide, please. I'm going to turn it over to Katelyn to share our upcoming service event for October. Yeah, go 15. I don't think you're on video, but I think you can hear. Okay, so we've got a highway cleanup event on October 15th. It's a Thursday. We meet in the parking lot across from the Fox Hollow Banquet Hall. And I will have Lev and, we got a bit over by us. We'll have gloves and garbage bags provided. I think we're in the way. Sorry. We're getting hot, Dad. Anything else, Katelyn? No. All right. So yeah, anybody that wants to do highway cleanup, it's a really short volunteer opportunity. I think last time there was 8. Well, this picture on the left, I think there was 8 of us, and we were done within an hour. So hopefully the weather's nice and you can get out and get some fresh air. Next slide, please. I am going to ask Madeline to share a little bit of a teaser that might be coming. As many of you know, And we have goals to raise money for polio eradication efforts every year. Our goal this year is $2,000, and it falls on a Saturday this year. You'll find out why that's the case in the Chronicle when it gets sent out in the next few days. But I am going to ask Madeline. We are working on something, and if everything comes together, let's see. Sorry, I gotta get back to my video here. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. If everything comes together, it'll be a really cool thing. So Madeline, do you want to give a little speak?
Yeah, so as a lot of you know, last month I put together a food truck event in La Crescent. It turned out to be a really great success. There were hundreds of people that ended up coming in and out throughout the duration, not all at once. So vendors made a lot of money. We raised over $2,500 for Apple Fest, and that was in only a week of social media pushing. So this is round 2, and I'm coming back with a vengeance because I couldn't attend the first one. And as long as it gets approved by the city, it should be a really incredible event if we get approval.
Yeah, so stay tuned more for that. I did want to share it tonight because we don't have another meeting before the 24th. So it will be, go as on your own. It would be our October social. And hopefully if everything works out, the proceeds raised would go to our polio eradication efforts, which would be really awesome. So thank you, Madeline, for working on that. And we'll see where that goes. Next slide, please. I have some really, really exciting news. For those of you that are probably aware, our club contributed $5,000 to the Wheels of Hope Razia's Bus project. It's a local Rotary project, and the goal was to raise $45,000, and that would be to purchase a bus, a van, a year of maintenance, and a year of salaries for the drivers. And I heard through the grapevine that a couple weeks ago they were down to about $10,000 or $12,000 that needed raising, and somebody on the downtown Rotary board said if those after hours members can give $5,000, we can at least do that or more. So I take great pride in knowing that we upped the competition and that we got this project done and pushed over the hump. And so those girls in Afghanistan at the Zabuli Education Center will have a much better chance of getting to school and getting that education that they deserve thanks to us and the purchase of the bus. So more to come on that, but my deepest gratitude goes out to the club. Again, efforts that we raised through Ugly Sweater, anybody that donated individually, we all made that happen. And so thank you for all of your generosity in helping supporting this project. I do want to, next slide please. I'm going to ask Lisa or Josh to give a quick update on the global grant lacrosse area Rotary project that is in the works. So Lisa or Josh, please take over.
I believe Josh would like me to talk about this, so I will go ahead and talk about it. So several clubs in the area have been working to put together a global grant that will occur in La Crosse or the surrounding area. So we have looked at probably around 10 different projects. We narrowed it down to 2. Those 2 projects, we then had representatives from those organizations come and present their idea to us. And they were both very worthy projects. One was with the La Crosse School District, one was with the St. Clair Health Mission. And we have decided to move forward with the St. Clair Health Mission. And there is a transportation theme that seems to be occurring here with the Good Fight bus, Razia's bus, we're going to be doing a mobile clinic with the St. Clair Health Mission. So the status of that is that we're in the beginning stages of fundraising. But it's a really cool idea that several clubs in the La Crosse area are going to work together to help fund a global grant that's going to help support people in La Crosse and the surrounding area with their healthcare needs.
Thank you, Lisa. Was there anything that you wanted to add, Josh?
Oh, I'm good. Lisa said it all.
A really exciting thing that I have no doubt that our club will be involved with, but part of what I've been doing as my job has kind of shifted because of COVID is to look at the impact that COVID has had. And one of the themes that we've probably all heard is how it's affected disproportionately certain populations. And this mobile clinic will travel all across the Cooley region, out to Arcadia, all over, and provide access to healthcare that people that wouldn't have that option. So pretty exciting. More to come. It'll be a good thing to be involved with. Next slide, please. I will ask Emily if she's available to talk about this Thursday's Rotary Leadership Series.
So Thursday, we have our second speaker in the leadership series. It's Katelyn Bosshard. So she's the founder of the Fierce Network. She's a really well-respected speaker. I would encourage everybody to consider attending. It's a little early in the morning for some people, but please go ahead and register. And there's an event on our Facebook page, and then there's also an email sent out by Marissa for you to register for that.
Thank you, Emily, and thanks for representing us on that committee. I know some of us heard Carolyn when she came and spoke to our club. I don't know, was it last year or the year before? She's got a really powerful story. It's a good opportunity to join virtually other Rotarians in the Cooley region. You're welcome to invite guests, but encourage you to sign up for that. As soon as you do, you get the link emailed to you. So Thursday morning from 7 to 8 a.m. Next slide, please. As a reminder, next week, I believe it's Wednesday evening, October 14th, from 6 to 8 is the Vibrant Club Workshop. I don't know, is Bill Pritchard on by chance?
I don't believe he is, no.
Okay. So this is a District 6250 event. Everybody is welcome and encouraged to attend if you want to strengthen your Rotary skills and your knowledge. There'll be specific breakout rooms that you can choose which one you want to go to, and they're focused around different topics of Rotary. But if you want to join that, please go sign up. I think you can sign up at rotary6250.org. Next slide, please. Are there any other...
Marissa, did you share on there that they are doing a giveaway for a year's worth of Rotary dues if you sign up and go to that workshop? They're drawing one lucky winner.
Yeah, could you repeat that?
Yeah, so they are, if you register for the event and attend, they're doing a door prize that for one lucky winner to win their full years of Rotary dues will be paid by the district for next year. So that's a little extra incentive to go sign up in addition to wanting to improve your Rotary knowledge.
Thank you. I totally forgot about that, but I was like, oh, I'm glad I signed up. I hope I'm the lucky winner. I never win anything, but you know, cross your fingers. With that, I appreciate everybody's flexibility as we kind of shifted things around. The trucks have left, the machines have started to turn down, although they are harvesting the cranberries to the right of me. And so with that, is there any other announcements that anybody else has?
Hey, it's Ashley.
I was just gonna mention, so we have the ugly sweater coming up in early December, and right now we are still in the process of figuring out details for that. But I am hoping to send out an email to the club in the next week. So if everyone can keep an eye out for that. It is a little bit late this year as far as getting the word out, so we can use everybody's help to help get it out in the community so we can make sure it's successful.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you to the committee that has tirelessly tried to figure out what the best way to pull off the ugly sweater run this year is. But it will be a great event no matter what happens. So appreciate all your efforts and everybody else that helped make it possible. So any other announcements from anybody else?
I was going to ask, I see James is wearing a conspicuous medal. I was going to ask what he earned a medal for. James, you're on mute. And now it looks like he's got its.
I ran the ugly sweater run several years ago, and I actually won. Let's see, can you see that? I won second place once upon a time. So,
Nice.
yeah, in my age group, when I weighed less than what I do now. Thanks, Josh.
Congratulations, James. That's awesome.
That was several years ago. But we did just have our meeting. We talked about, finisher awards, so I thought I would wear the medal to the meeting.
Anybody else have any other announcements? I do have a couple more, but I'll open it up to you guys first. I don't know if you guys saw Brianna Ring. She used to be in Rotary After Hours. She was on our board for several years. Announced that she's pregnant today. So if you see her, tell her congratulations. That's very exciting for her and David. Anything else? All right, Emily, if you could fast forward 2 slides, please. I just wanted to give a final push for the $10,000 challenge foundation match opportunity. Both Jeremy and I are matching any increases that you make to, I'm doing starting at $5, still match 50% if you do $10 a month. If you're not signed up for Rotary Direct and you sign up for $5, I will match that. I think there's at least 7 or 8 people that have taken up the challenge. So that's pretty cool and exciting, and appreciate everybody's generosity in giving to the foundation. And also Jeremy's generosity for upping the game and coming in with his match too. Next slide, please. So many of you know that in the spring, we will celebrate our 10th birthday. Happy birthday to Rotary After Hours. I have gotten 2 really awesome co-chairs to plan our birthday party. So thank you to Madeline Behringer and Laura Lee. They will be co-chairing that event. And I'll ask them if they have anything they want to add, but if anybody's interested in helping with that, I don't think it will be a relatively large commitment, but it would be super fun to plan a fun party for us to celebrate in the spring. Laura, Madeline, is there anything that you wanted to add?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, next slide, please. So I'm super excited about our next meeting, weather permitting. It is going to be a dark lacrosse walking tour. So we're trying to get away from all of the, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I'm on Zoom calls all day, so I get a little zoomed out. But for anybody that wants to join us in person, Kelly Craig Sigmund, who used to work at the library, I think her character name is Frankie LaSalle, I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is going to be doing a walking tour of downtown La Crosse, talking about the speedier days, the red light district, some ghosts that might be at casino or bodega. You never know what she's going to share, the hauntings of some of our favorite places. So please join us. I don't have a meeting date or a meeting location yet because I need to confirm with her, and we're kind of looking at the weather. But most likely we'll have minimal announcements that day, and the majority of the program will be learning about La Crosse's dark, speedier path. There will also be an option to join virtually for anybody that prefers that option. It will be me on the selfie stick walking around, and so I will try my best to make it as shake-free as possible so nobody gets motion sickness. Any questions or any last departing thoughts before we officially conclude with our 5-way test? Not hearing any. Again, thank you to all of the guests that joined tonight. Thank you to everybody that modified their schedules. I know that we moved it up a week, but at this point, they'll be done harvesting next week, and I thought it would be a fun, more interactive meeting to get things energized a little bit. So hope you enjoyed it. And with that, I will ask Emily to go to the next slide. If we could all rise and unmute ourselves and say the 5-way test, and then we will officially conclude this meeting. So, of all the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth?
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and
better
friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it
be fun?
Thank you, everybody. I can't stay on, but if anybody wants to stay on, I think I'll leave it up to Emily and Josh. I think you're the chairs of this Zoom call this evening. So thank you again, and